Shri Shri Ras Viharini Ju Ki Jai. Vraj Kishori Taiva Trust reading Shri Hariraji Bade Shiksha Patra. It's day 97, letter 38, and starting with verse 12. The form of the Lord that is worshipped in Mathura and Dwarka contains all paths, but with lawful limitations, whilst the all-transcending, unlimited bliss form of the Lord only resides in Sri Vrajdham. He is the form of the highest bliss which manifests within his pastimes as a child and in his sweetest, secret, loving pastimes. Shri Krishna's form that contains all paths and aspects of Godhead, but which still adheres to lawful limitations, resides in Mathura and Dwarkapuri, whilst his grace-filled form of overflowing love resides in Sri Vrajdham and enjoys childish and loving pastimes. Do then know this difference between the forms that are in Mathura and Dwarka and the Vraja form. In the same way, there is a difference between the rewards that they grant. Therefore, you should contemplate in your heart the form of Shri Krishna who resides in Vraja. There in Vraj, the Lord sits in his mother's lap and is the form of pure bliss. He plays like a child, as an adolescent and as a youth. All these forms of his are replete with loving mood. Sri Gosaiji has explained the secret meanings of all of these pastimes in his writings, and we should know them according to these. The most secret and intimate pastimes are not to be revealed in speech or word, but the Lord's close devotees get to experience them in their hearts. This is how the Lord reigns in his Sri Vrindavan Dham. Verses 14 and 15. Shri Krishna is the form of divine desire in all of the different stages of his pastimes. Fix your heart on his original form, the foundation of all other forms. In the path of grace, your service should be to this form alone, and it can become devotionally perfect when you use your body and wealth to do so. Tika. In Braj, Shri Krishna embodies the beauty of millions of cupids and appears there to bring happiness to the Vraja devotees. Within the Rasa Panchadhyaya, the 5 chapters of the Srimad Bhagavatam that describe the Ras Leela, or the great circle dance of Shri Krishna and the gopis, the Lord is described as being the one who befuddles the mind of even Cupid, who befuddles the mind of everyone, Shri Manmata Manmata. This condition prevails through all his pastimes and does not change when his age does. He grants bliss from the moment that he appears there, even as an infant. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the legend that goes that the Lord appears as Sri Devakiji's son and is the ultimate abode of all beings. He holds court with the most elevated members of the Yadava caste. He removes all unrighteousness and grief in the realm of movable and of immovable beings with his own hands. He engenders love and desire in the hearts of the ladies both of Mathura and Dwarka, and he reigns as the highest power. This legend stirs up love for him in the ladies of Vraj. Shri Gosaiji has written in his cradle song that Shri Krishna, even while swinging in his cradle, in front of his mother Shri Yashodaji, breaks the stubborn mood of annoyance in love of Shri Swamiji. From this it is seen that his childhood pastimes simultaneously contain all his other pastimes, as he is, as the Vraja Krishna, the abode of all contradictory qualities and actions, Viruddha Dharma Ashray, and the origin of all manifestations and pastimes. All his pastimes in Braj are filled with divine nectarian bliss, as are all the pastimes of his original form. He is eternal, and so are his pastimes. Establish this very Krishna in your consciousness. This is the way of loving service in this path. When you experience constant remembrance of the Lord and his pastimes in your heart, mind and consciousness, then know this to be the perfection of Manasi Seva. That is, when you are completely absorbed into his service. To attain this state, you must first serve him with your body and your wealth, indeed everything that you have, as your regular, consistent daily discipline. Sri Acharyaji has stated in his Siddhant Muktavali, the pearl necklace of teachings, treatise, always serve Shri Krishna. The highest service is with your heartfelt consciousness. Perfection of this state of a constant awareness can be reached through serving him with your body and wealth. From this, know that the way of path of grace is to first serve the Lord with your body and wealth, and then you will attain the blessed, most elevated state of Manasi Seva, when your consciousness and awareness are inseparably linked to the Lord. Krishna Seva Sadakarya Manasi Sa Para Mata. Establish yourself, verse 16, establish yourself in a state of unshakable faith, through keeping the company of accomplished devotees and remembering your dedication to the Lord along with them. Tika. In order to develop this kind of love for and experience of the Lord, you should examine your dedication to him in the company of accomplished devotees or the path of grace. Regularly meet with them and have faith in their words, like the faith of the Chartaga bird who waits for rain just from one particular cloud and knows it will be quenched thereby. Then you will experience the bliss of the Lord. Verse 17. Shri Krishna is pledged to grace and will never neglect his humble devotees. He will himself single-mindedly protect his beloved devotees. Know that Shri Krishna actually depends on his devotees. There is a well-known saying that Shri Krishna is most compassionate to his devoted servants and, feeling separation from them, runs behind them. He became Arjuna's charioteer and obeyed the Pandavas and remained inseparable, even for a single second, from his Braja devotees. In this way, Shri Krishna graces his devotees by becoming dependent upon them. Therefore, in this path of grace, those who have taken shelter in him through the auspices of Sri Acharyaji and surrender fully with all humility, such souls the Lord will never neglect nor forget. The Lord shows indifference to those souls who are attached to the mundane and scriptural realms where they suffer deep grief, because in those realms there are two types of fruit, joy and sadness, which are the results of meritorious and sinful activities respectively. Such results are only to be expected in the world, and so the Lord lets those souls experience such worldly rewards. To those souls who are exclusively dedicated to him alone, he is never indifferent. He reciprocally nourishes their heartfelt love for him. He always has done and always will. He will not assign this protection to his partial forms, but does it himself because he is most compassionate. Verse 18. When your mind is constantly inclined towards this righteous path, your consciousness will be purified and your heart will be fully merged into Sri Hari. If you are at all hypocritical, then such awareness can never arise, so keep yourself fully focused on the path. Tika. The mind, heart and awareness become purified when you fix yourself on the true path, and then your mind will be focused purely on Sri Hari and never in hypocrisy. Verse 19. Let your mind be firmly fixed on the lotus feet of Sri Vallabhacharyaji, who founded this path of grace. Then all rewards will be received. You can read details of this in Govardhan Das Ji's letter. I have nothing to say beyond that. Tika. Sri Vallabhacharyaji is the founder of this path of grace, Pushti Marg. There is no doubt that a devotee who surrenders to his lotus feet with firm faith will attain all devotional rewards. This is the paramount teaching. All the remaining information is contained in Govardhan Das's letter. Translator's note. The letter of Govardhan Das mentioned here is not printed in this copy of Shiksha Patra. I do not know what is written there, but have mentioned it to maintain the direct translation of the given text. Concludes there with verse 19. This concludes letter 38. So we'll continue tomorrow with letter 39. Aaj ke Anand ki jai ho, jai jai Shri Radhe, sab Vaishnavan ko sadar saprem sadenya sanand, jai Shri Krishna Ras Viharini Ju ki jai ho.